Hey, how's it going? Let's take a look at my Hot Wheels coloring book from 1970. I have a couple coloring books that I kept that I've had the entire time, and this is one of them. Um, but before we get to the coloring book, let's look at these Hot Wheels. This is the oldest part of my Hot Wheels collection. Now, I had a lot of the original, this is from 1970. I had a lot of the original Hot Wheels that are featured in this coloring book that we're going to look at in a little bit. Um, but they're all gone now. And so the oldest Hot Wheels thing that I have from my childhood is this coloring book. So we'll get to that in a bit. But the newest thing I have in my collection of from Hot Wheels are these two cars that I just picked up today. So let's take a look at them. Let's look at this Volkswagen first. Volkswagen SP2. There was a whole selection of Volkswagens there. And let's see, I'll tell you the ones that were there that I didn't get. This custom Beetle was the most prevalent. There were many of them. There were a couple Golfs and a couple of this Beetle pickup and a couple of the SP2 that I got. And the only of all of these models, of all of these Hot Wheels, this was the one that stood out to me the most. And these other ones, didn't look that great to me. You know that we open stuff here. Let's just open this up. Wow, nice paint. I like this green, really nice color. I don't know that I've ever seen this car. Paulo could probably tell us everything about this car. I don't know that I've ever seen this. Maybe this is not an American release. It just says Volkswagen SP2. I don't know the year, but from the look of this car, this looks like the design of a 1982 automobile. This looks like an 80s design to me. I could be completely wrong. I have to look this up. It's a beautiful little car, isn't it? It's very interesting. It's got, I like how it's got that egg shape like a Porsche. See that? Hatchback like a Porsche. It's got a little graphic on the back. It says VWSP2. I just noticed that. That's the only. Oh, there's no lights. No graphics on the front or back, which is a disappointment. You've got these stripes, which I could care less about. I don't really care for these stripes, except for this one down here. I like that. It's only on this side. And there's another, well, that's the Hot Wheels graphic. And then another Hot Wheels graphic. Okay. Nice car. And then this was the only Batmobile there. And this was quite a find because this was priced the same as the Volkswagen we just looked at. This was the only one, but they were all together and they were all for the same price, which was $1.39. So I remember when these were 99 cents, only like 3 years ago. Okay, sure. I don't know which Batman this is. Let's look. Like I don't know what interpretation this is. This could just be a Hot Wheels interpretation, but it looks a lot like the 1989. Doesn't this look like the original, like Michael Keaton 1989? Is that what this is? Except it has Hot Wheels graphics, big thick tires. I like this. This is kind of sick, isn't it? What is it called in the bottom? It feels like a metal bottom. Well, it doesn't tell us anything. That's interesting. It is. It's a metal bottom because this body is plastic. Huh. You guys see that? That's interesting. Huh. I wonder how this will do on the track. I mean, obviously it's not going to corner well, but on the straightaway on the speed track, you know, which we need to set up soon. Anyway, on the drag strip, on the Hot Wheels drag strip that I have, this car might do well because it has a metal bottom. A lot of the other cars have metal tops and plastic bottoms. When you know your new Hot Wheels, you guys all know that. This is a nice looking Batmobile. I'm not a big fan of the stripes, as always, you know, and or the graphics on the wheels. I feel like this needs to be all black. But you know, they're trying to change it up and give new things for the kids and everything. I do like the orange windows aren't bad, but I like the design. It's cool. All right, let's look at this. That's what we're really here for. This video is going to be. This is the video for the Hot Wheels Fastest Metal Cars in the World by Mattel coloring book, authorized edition, Mongoose and Snake version. There's the cars. Tom McEwen is the Mongoose. Don Prudhomme is the Snake. Hot Wheels is a U.S. registered trademark of Mattel. 1970, printed in the USA. So that's when I got this. I got this in 1970. I was living in San Jose, California. I was 5 or 6 years old. And this coloring book, we're not going to look at every page, obviously, but there are a lot of Hot Wheels collectors out there that might not have seen this yet. I mean, maybe there are. Maybe there's not a lot, but it's possible. If you're a new collector or something and you want to see one of these and you haven't seen it yet, I guess. But these are, I don't know if this is, there might be a lot of these out there that are completely uncolored, and I don't even know. Or maybe this, but this one is, I colored all this stuff. So one of the reasons why I kept this coloring book, I had this car, the Demon. One of the reasons why I kept this coloring book and took such care in coloring some of the pages was because I really got into the story in this coloring book. This, you'll see why in a couple of minutes, why this story would have interested me. Aren't these great images? I don't know how good these are. I didn't do this. This is at a point where I didn't care about my coloring books, and I was just letting my cousins who came over to visit. This coloring book was probably at the time in a basket with a whole bunch of other coloring books that were in my mother's closet. And so kids that little kids eventually, you know, might have colored in this, and I didn't even care that they did this at the time. Isn't that unfortunate? Because I was a teenager and I really lost interest in all of this stuff. Comics were the only, you know, and some toys. There were just a few things that I really kept and took care of, but somehow I managed to save this. Look at this early case. Isn't this cool? Playtime is over. We just got to see him play and everything. Now he's got to do chores. He gets paid for mowing the lawn. He hooks up with his friend. They play Hot Wheels. They do a double track setup. Check out the catalog. They're going to go to the hobby shop to buy some cars. There's a maze that it is them going to the which way to the model shop. And they go to the model shop. I must have read this story over and over and over when I was a kid. Look how they have he's got the Hot Wheels set up like in a case. I like how it's drawn. This is at the same time, I think this is in conjunction with the Hot Wheels cartoon, which was a Saturday morning cartoon. Because I like how everybody is drawn in like the Hanna-Barbera style, sort of, right? Or whatever it was. You know, I guess, is that Hanna-Barbera? Whoever was doing like, you know, like the Devlins, or is that Hanna-Barbera? Or Scooby-Doo? Everybody kind of looks in that same style, which I really like. This is the Mantis. What a sick car that was. Python. Of course, we know this one. I have a few of these Twin Mills, but they're the remakes. They're the new ones. This was the most coveted car. So I had both of these, but this car was the most coveted car by everybody at all times, everywhere, in my opinion, in my neighborhood as a kid growing up. This is the most badass Hot Wheels I've ever made. So they go to let's see what they got. Bob got the paddy wagon, and Bill took the Red Baron. Good choice. That's a good choice. So then on the way home, they walk by the fairgrounds and there's a drag race. They're like, oh. And so then they go home and they set up a race. Red Baron's taking the lead, but apparently the paddy wagon won. So this is where this becomes, I mean, the whole thing would have been, it's obviously interesting to a little kid. Badass. But when I'm 5 or 6, I don't have a dad. My dad had just died tragically in a helicopter accident. So, and then there was nobody that replaced him in my house. I had an older brother, but he was like a ghost. He was completely invisible. And then there was sisters and my mom. So I dreamed of this. I wanted to have dads who provided tickets and said, dudes, guys, we're going to go to the drag race. I hope you've been enjoying the Hot Wheels, but we're going to go see the mongoose and the snake. See, look at this, tickets to the drag race. And they're showing their cars off to their dad. Gee, thanks, Dad. Showing their cars off to their dads. I bet you had no idea that Hot Wheels had such deep pathos. That's twice today that I used that word. So they go to the fairgrounds. It looks like there's plenty of parking. Look, you can cut out the tickets. You can make your own tickets. There's this popcorn. Look at all these empty pages. Anyway, you know what? This stuff would be fun to print out. Gonna make coloring sheets. Gonna make follow along coloring sheets for all the 4-color fossils and for Rat Black, for any Hot Wheel fans. And then in future videos, we'll do a color along video where we'll all be coloring the same. It'll be like what was it called, where you would draw on the Winky Dink? It would be like Winky Dink and Me, right? It'll be like Winky Dink and Me. So we'll do it somehow I'll make a PDF available so everybody can print out their own coloring sheet of what we're going to color that week, and then we'll do a live Hot Wheels coloring contest. We'll all color at the same time, and then send it. Everybody sends their entries to a PO box in, I don't know, someplace like Poughkeepsie. That one, Poughkeepsie, maybe Steubenville. I don't know. You know, this is all a joke, the whole thing. Speaking of which, so that would have been mint. This is me. I did this. This is great. The mongoose won, and I decided to show off my new cursive skills, and I wrote the word "the" really big in cursive style. I really must have worked hard at this. And then I realized as soon as I finished the E, this is my early discovering how to use space. This is my blue period, as you can see. This looks like something my sister would have done. Susie wants to help. Oh, they won the raffle. Look, he won a Hot Wheels set. Our second winner is number 4135. I can't believe it. Do we have the tickets? If we have the tickets, no, it's not. I thought that would have been a really cool thing if they had the raffle tickets with the numbers. This guy looks like Dick Sargent. Something. Dean Jones. He looks like that's the second time I said Dean Jones today. Maybe the third time I said Dean Jones today. Well, it is now. Now it's 4. Wow, look at this. This is my favorite. I don't have a lot of these in my collection, you know. I don't have any Hot Wheels. Maybe I do. I do. I've got some anyway. But these originals, like this, this was first possibly a thing. This was the thing. That you could have a car that would do that. It was a dragster. Almost like real. Look at that picture. Boy, if we were going to do that coloring thing that I was just joking about, this would be, so far of everything we've looked at, this is my favorite image. I really like this image a lot. So both the boys won car sets. Well, I mean, his dad did, and he gave it to him, obviously. They got to meet the drivers. See you next year. They got home. They set up their own drag race. They suited up. Well, he's imagining this. Bob paints a sign. Bill dreams as he works. Okay, Bill's setting up his track. And while he's setting up his track, this is what he's imagining. Oh, this is getting loose. This last page is almost, these last pages are loose. I should be careful with that. Justin, we've all done this, haven't we? Well, this is like the first sets. This is the beginning of it all, isn't it? Look at how everybody's dressed. Isn't that nice? You know, remember how we always used to dress with those Hang 10 striped shirts? My mustache period. Loop. Mongoose wins. A poster to color of Tom McEwen, the mongoose. Then there's the snake, Don Prudhomme, champion driver. And then here's the boys at the end, racing buddies. And then this was in here, a part of this coloring book, and I took it out. I don't remember where it is, where it came from, which page this is, where it belongs in here. But I had this out of here for a long time, and this was hung up on my wall in my room. So I used to have this in my room like this. And then somehow, some way, I don't even remember when I did it, but I had the forethought to fold it up and put it inside of the comic book. I can't even figure out here. How did I fold this thing? And here's some of my early artwork where I was drawing a Corvette from the side. And that was like a little Hot Wheel Corvette that I had right there. Hope you enjoyed looking at this Hot Wheels coloring book from 1970. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and I will talk to you guys later.